Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quest for the Bestest from Backlot Banter. It is the podcast where we have, in past tense, watched all 10 Best Picture nominees, given them a score, and put them on a great big list to determine which Best Picture nominee we think is the very best. And once one of these 10 films for the calendar year 2023 wins the Best Picture award, we will be adding that to our humongous list of all the Best Picture winners of all time. We're only a few films short from completing the list. It's our final year of doing the nominees as a part of Quest. As it stands, I make no predictions for the future. It's a hard thing to know what's going to happen. Today, though, we're not talking about any one specific movie. In fact, we're going to talk about all the movies that the ceremony is going to highlight because it is our Oscars ceremony-wide prediction video. We've gone through, done our research, figured out which movie is going to win, which movie the Academy is going to pick for each and every single category. Movie, actress, actor, production designer, you know the whole shtick. But before we do that, I just want to quickly run down our 10 films and the scores that we gave them so that you are all situated for what we think, because this episode is a little bit more about what we think they think. It's the politics of the Oscars ceremony.
Well, and what we think. We're going to throw our own personal picks in there.
It would not be a Quest episode if we didn't.
No.
Starting at the top, we have Top Gun Maverick at a 9.6, followed by Everything Everywhere All at Once at a 9.23, then All Quiet on the Western Front with a 9.18. Tar up next at the fourth place with a 9.15. Coming in with a straight 9.0 at number 5 is The Fabelmans, followed by The Banshees of Inisherin with an 8.7. Then at spot number 7, Avatar, The Way of Water with 8.53, followed up by Elvis at spot number 8 with 8.50. And then for the final two, Women Talking at spot number 9 with an 8.4, and Triangle of Sadness rounds out the bottom of our list with a 6.6. So pretty on the top end of the spectrum
heavy,
this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, top heavy indeed, given that
Just
Top
like us,
Gun,
because our brains are so big.
Yeah.
Our brains
from
are so
watching all
Whoa,
these
I
films.
can't
And it's
have
bottom
balance
heavy.
issues.
And it's bottom heavy.
Uh-huh. Oh.
we know
Yeah.
podcast viewers who see us from the torso up don't know, but I know that to be
Yes.
the truth.
We've all gotten
Okay.
Brazilian butt lifts.
Boing. I do believe before we hit all of these categories, Abram has a featured comment to read aloud. One that I particularly enjoy myself. It's a good
I
comment.
want to get crazy, though, Timo, and I want to intercede the comment reading for something that you will also like, because I want to first throw the section to Tanner.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, I think it needs to be said that while we get into, while we break down all the Guild Awards, that we have a Guild Award winner in our midst. Our one, our only, our true friend, your host of Quest for the Bestest, Timo Nelson, is a Cinema Audio Society Award winner. So we just sound off in the comment. There's the card.
Yeah.
Make it official.
Proof.
We're not lying.
Yeah.
He does great work here on the podcast. He does great work outside of the podcast, and he was recognized.
Thank you guys
for
very
it.
much.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
super honored, and I got to go to the CAS ceremony, so I know the insights of the audio people now.
It's true.
Ooh.
It's true. Sound off in the
Then
comments.
then you better get your
Sound.
sound prediction right.
Yeah.
That would be travesty if it wasn't true.
Please congratulate
humongous
Timo
L.
in the comments, please. He deserves it.
I want
Thank
the
you guys
comments
very
full
much.
of congratulations, Timo, not only because it'll help the algorithm, but also because
Yes,
Timo
more
actually
confidence.
deserves it. Fuck the algorithm. It's about supporting our boy. But
True.
let me segue back into somebody else who supports our boy, because on the Top Gun Maverick episode of Quest for the Bestest, our treasured boy, who hasn't been read out in a little while,
true.
John Tor 11, is back with a comment, who writes the following. Interesting discussion, guys. I saw the first Top Gun movie when I was 15 back in 96, and I loved it. And this one didn't disappoint. But I'm with Timo on this one. I'm glad he brought up the propaganda movies from Nazi Germany, because I think that Top Gun Maverick is just that. It shows how dangerous propaganda can be, because if you can sell it well, it is easily bought. Sure, this is a cool movie, but I can't help having a bitter taste in my mouth afterwards, and I actually find it a bit insulting that this movie is in the same nomination list as All Quiet. Sorry, only 7 out of 10 from me.
You know what? We'll forgive you, John Tor. That's all right. And because we've been getting so much fantastic feedback, I wanted to read out another Quest fan, Quest comment, not really a Quest commenter, but they do comment in our Discord channel. That's the link you can join down in the description. I want to read out a message from Al Naz, congratulating and lauding another one of our fellow boys here, but let me just read it. Guys, I just watched this, referring to our Top Gun Maverick Quest for the Bestest episode, and it was so much fun, so much adrenaline and energy in your discussion. It was almost like an action version of Quest on an action movie. At Abram, Short Spoon Buhner stands up and moves around. The excitement was palpable, enjoyable episode. Thank you so much, Alnaz.
And it is a great episode. It's also our longest episode of Quest ever by like 2 minutes, I think. Second up is Tar, so it shows you how long we've been going this season.
Yeah.
Inside your Top Gun Maverick critique, there are two wolves, John Tor and Al.
Which one? Which one will you side with?
Yeah. Well, I think it's time we start siding with some picks as to what the Academy is going to choose. Tanner, you've gone ahead and figured out the optimal order so that we mirror in our best guess the actual path that the Academy is going to take on Sunday night when they go through the awards. So we'll start down in what land? Well, I don't know. Where will we start, Tanner? What are we going to talk about?
We're going to start in Easy Land is where we're going to start. We're going to start in Supporting Actor Land. Usually they always start out with a somewhat big category like this, and it's typically a supporting acting category. I'm going to go supporting actor because it's an easy choice for prediction this year.
Who's nominated?
Who's
going to win?
Thank you for reminding me, Tim. I was just about to just say, this person's winning. But anyway, the nominees are Brendan Gleeson in The Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry in Causeway, Judd Hirsch in The Fablemans, Barry Keoghan in The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ke-Huy Quan in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'd also like to say, just before we start, one last thing, that I, your very own Tanner Dykstra, have watched every single Oscar-nominated film as of this afternoon.
Congratulations.
Save for Tell It Like a Woman, because that's only got an original song nomination. They didn't nominate the movie, they nominated the song. Anyway, I'm not watching that movie. I watched all the movies.
You got a few days.
Yeah, I watched all the movies that are nominated. So I got all the important stuff. But I didn't need all that knowledge to predict this category. Let's going just to Ke-Huy Quan.
Oh, I was just going to say, let's all just say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ke-Huy
Quan. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will note, by the way, that we are doing should win and will win.
Yes.
And I don't want to presume, but I think we all probably have him down for should and will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Solid 8 for 8. That's always really satisfying.
That's
and I
really
also think that this is one of the more satisfying stories of this award season is watching him come back from not acting for decades, tell the story about how there weren't enough roles for Asian actors when he was an actor as a child or a young man, and then exploding onto the scene, being one of the most charming people in this entire award circuit, giving great speeches, being such a fun personality, and his track record here is the closest to unbeatable we've had this entire award season. It's not entirely unbeatable.
No, it's
because
not.
Barry Keoghan won the BAFTA for
Sneaky
supporting
Barry.
actor. The BAFTAs, all the BAFTAs.
Sneaky Barry came in, the BAFTAs came in and said, no sweepers in the acting categories this year. # no sweepers. We're giving it to Barry. But no, nonetheless, it's going to be Ke-Huy Quan, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It's just, I think, maybe the performance with the most warmth of the entire year.
Yeah.
He has an incredible range, he has incredible screen presence, and I can't wait to see him in more things that aren't a short round show. And if the first thing you said after seeing Everything Everywhere is that he should be in a short round show, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I think what I'm going to add...
not the director Joe Russo, though. That other guy on Twitter who's also named Joe Russo.
Not allowed.
What I'll just throw in on this one is I heard an interview. He was on NPR show a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how after he finished shooting Everything Everywhere, he ran out of health insurance because he couldn't get a job. And that specific little point is what's going to make him win. Because I think the Academy voters are going to hear this and be like, out of anyone who's nominated, everyone else who's nominated had health insurance consistently for the last 5 years. And he did not. So I think that's,
there's your key to winning an Oscar, folks.
Very deserving in all other
Complain about your health
categories.
insurance.
Yeah, but the story and the meta text of his nomination, I think, really carries it to the win.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now let's move into the realm, the mind space of our CAS award winner here. Let's move into the sound category.
just gonna hit
Nominees
it off.
are...
Which
Yeah.
isn't happening before the show this time, right?
Nope, they are
stop
all
that?
televised. All awards are televised
Perfect.
this year.
Oh
Thank
my
God.
Thank you.
Nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun: Maverick. Now I want to
Great
throw it to Timo Nelson first. Timo, give us your who you think will win, and now that you have seen all these films actually, who you think should win.
Well, at the CAS Awards, Top Gun Maverick took home the top prize. They gave it there. I didn't actually get to hear like the acceptance speech of the mixers who won, but I think Academy is going to go along the same route, and they're going to pick Top Gun to win. Now, I don't want Top Gun to win because I actually think All Quiet on the Western Front has better sound this year and does more with it. But from a technical level, I can see where the Academy is coming from in picking Top Gun for sound. I mean, the sequences where they're flying around in those jets, they didn't have microphones on them. They're doing all that in post, so it's really well deserving. Even if I think that maybe All Quiet story-wise does a little bit more with the sound.
Sure, yeah. What everyone else go? I'll go last this time. Abram, Tucker, what do you think?
Yeah, Top Gun's going to take it, and frankly, I think that Top Gun should have been nominated for every award, and it should win every award, so I also believe that Top Gun should win, too.
I'm going Top Gun as well as my prediction. I think my favorite use of sound design this year is Avatar: The Way of Water. I think the creation of sci-fi sound effects appeals to me a little more. Monkey Brain is like, oh, that's not a noise I usually hear. Whereas I could imagine the sound of planes. Of course, they did a fantastic job. Top Gun Maverick, one of my favorite movies ever, as we just talked about in a review that went up today as of recording. But yeah, Top Gun Maverick is probably going to win. But I would like it to be Avatar just because I want Avatar to win something else, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, unlikely. Tanner, what do you think?
I'm also going Top Gun Maverick on both accounts for will win and should win, but I think it is worth pointing out that All Quiet on the Western Front does pose a bit of a threat now. Obviously, the BAFTAs went for it like crazy, gave it that sound award, but it also won a Motion Picture Sound Editors Award. So, and
I'm kind of weighing the CAS award a little higher because when you combine, here's the thing. The reason why they used to have those two awards for editing and mixing is because the MPSC is the Motion Picture Sound Editors Guild, and the CAS is the Cinema Audio Society or the Mixers Guild. So you have the mixing award for one guild and the editing award for the other. But now that they're combined, I actually think the mix is a little bit more important. That's what people can actually comment on without education, being like, oh, that was too loud, or that was too quiet, or I couldn't understand any of the words, like Tenet. So the mix, I think, weighs a little more in voters' minds, and so that's why I think Top Gun is going to take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I'm still going both, but I wouldn't be surprised if All Quiet swept in there. And
I mean, it would be a really big upset if one of those other films won. Even though, Batman got nominated at CAS. They played the car revving scene, the Batmobile revving scene to get everyone hyped for how that movie sounds.
Yeah. But we'll get to the other correlated category, editing, in due time. But before that, we have to do. We talked about how the film sounds, but we got to talk about how it looks now. We're going to go on to cinematography. The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front again, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths,
That's
Elvis,
the Iñárritu movie, if you don't know.
Yes. Elvis, Empire of Light, Sam Mendes film, shot by Roger Deakins, and Tar. Tucker Hazel, why don't you give me your predictions here? Your prediction and should win.
My prediction is All Quiet on the Western Front, which I know might sound a little bit weird because this is such a toss-up of a category. There's a bunch of good ones. I don't think Empire of Light or Bardo really has a shot. No. But my want to win would be Empire of Light because that movie has gotten shafted in every other regard. But I think it's one of my favorite movies of last year. It's gone completely overlooked. I think it'll be a movie people look back on and be like, hold on. Olivia Colman, Sam Mendes, Roger Deakins, the score by Reznor and Ross. Like, this is such a collaboration of great folks. And the cinematography is absolutely what sells the movie, of course, alongside its other elements. But I think that All Quiet on the Western Front is probably going to win this one.
Abram, what do you think?
Yeah, All Quiet is my will win, should win duo. As we talked about in that review, I just think that All Quiet is such a masterclass in visual storytelling, and it's pretty obvious just by taking a lay of the land that on a technical level, All Quiet is the favorite, I think.
Yeah.
And while I do think that Tar has some incredible cinematography, I think that a lot of what Tar does is a little bit more subtle when it comes to composition.
True. Yeah.
Whereas I think that All Quiet has both the spectacle and the technical skill with this sort of thematic undercurrent to basically the lion's share of the shots. So I think it'll go to All Quiet.
Now, if we were to mix those two words, would it be spectacle or tactical?
I like...
Leave your answer in the comments.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
Defer to the audience.
I'm going to go ahead and predict All Quiet on the Western Front, but I'm going to do our first maybe prediction should win split. Or Tucker, you said that you split. Okay.
I split on
Excuse me
sound.
then.
I split on
Third
sound.
split.
Okay. I'm going to say Elvis should win here. I think it's got really inventive, impressive cinematography. All Quiet on the Western Front is, of course, very akin to what usually wins this category. Your 1917s, your Dunes. We're doing big, epic, wide shots, chaos, war, battles, things like that. But there's a different type of chaos encapsulated in the cinematography of Elvis. And I think it is just, frankly, much more different and interesting than what we get in All Quiet on the Western Front. Also, should be noted, Elvis cinematographer Mandy Walker won the ASC award. So it is positioning itself as a bit of competition here, but I'm still going to go with All Quiet on the Western Front. It got that BAFTA win, of course. But one last thing, with Mandy Walker, would be the first woman to win, and she's the third ever woman nominated. And those three nominees have only happened in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Well, Elvis
Making
is
headway,
a beautifully shot film, so I wouldn't be mad at all.
Yeah, that'd be
Timo,
great.
please.
I know a lot of people would be mad at that, though.
You guys
for
are
whatever
making
reason.
me. I thought I knew, but I don't know. You raised really good points about All Quiet with its BAFTA win for cinematography. I'm gonna go that's going to win, but I put Tar down earlier today when I was thinking about what I think is gonna win. So I'll go. I want Tar to win because I think Tar has, like you said, Abram, it's got really subtle and really effective cinematography. I was reading. The CAS Awards gave me a bunch of magazines like Variety and whatnot. So I was reading a little bit about the sound work and the cinematography of Tar, and it actually just impressed me even more. That one shot, that oneer in the Juilliard classroom is insane. It's crazy. Yeah. There's a lot going on with Tar's cinematography under the hood, and so I think that it's very deserving, but you're probably right. All Quiet will take home. It's got the 1917 in the trenches, moving around the camera movement. But then there's editing, and you can cut and get cool like overhead shots too. It'll probably win.
Okay. Next category is a Tanner only category here because I'm going to talk about one of the short categories, documentary short.
Tanner, educate us. What do you think is going to win? Because I didn't pick one. I have no way of knowing.
I think that the short documentary "Stranger at the Gate" is going to win.
I love that one.
Well, Tucker, I wouldn't be too hasty to say that because that is the controversial one of this year. It chronicles the story of a military veteran who planned to bomb a Muslim community center in his hometown.
I heard about this one. Yeah.
And in speaking to the Muslim people inside of that community center, subsequently abandoned that plan, obviously, but also converted to Islam. And fascinating story. There's a lot of people who like this one. There's a lot of people who don't like this one for various reasons. And I, in my infinite wisdom, have decided to straddle that line and say the thing is fine in that it's a fascinating story, of course, but it also maybe could handle some of its subject matter with a more deft hand, I think. But nonetheless, they do go for these controversial types of things quite often. Honestly, I mean, you think back to to something strangers. I think that was a live action short, but that was a bit of a controversial one.
What was the one where there was like the super tattooed person? I remember that a couple
Skin.
years ago.
Yes, that's a great one. That's a great point as well, Timo. Is that's another controversial one that they gave the award to. So I'm gonna go Stranger at the Gate. It is supremely affecting and sticks in your mind. Maybe more than a lot of the other ones here, I would say. The runner-up for a lot of people is The Elephant Whisperers, which is just, a very nice documentary about these people who work at a, elephant rehabilitation area in India. It's very nice.
They're always on drugs. Yeah.
That's true, they are. But personally, I would pick the short documentary Haul Out, which, I sent the picture to a group chat with Tucker in it, is the one with 100,000 walruses all crammed onto one beach, and that is just
That's
an insane
easy way into Tanner's heart.
It's true.
100,000 walruses.
Ladies,
100,000
If you want to successfully woo Tanner in
Yes.
a dating game, give him 100,000 walruses and he'll be on your side.
no, just put them
Absolutely,
all
I
on
will.
one beach.
Yeah, well, that one is about. It's very sparse, dialogue-wise and explainer-wise. The explanation as to what the short is about doesn't come until the very end, text up on screen, and it's talking about climate change, it affects these walrus migrations, and more of them die every year because they're crammed onto this beach waiting to migrate as the temperatures take longer and longer to drop. I think the visuals are fantastic. I think it is cool that it is so sparse in its information. That's my personal pick, but prediction-wise, again, I'm going Stranger at the Gate.
Why don't you do the other shorts categories and we'll just bing, bong,
Sure,
boom,
okay.
do
Yeah,
them all
okay.
right now, and then because I didn't see the doc live action or animated shorts, so I'm kind of an idiot RN.
That's okay, Tim. That's okay. Sure, I can do the rest of the shorts category. This is going to be Tanner's Shorts Corner. Animated, I'll go next.
Take a look at Tanner's shorts.
Yeah, exactly. This is a tough one. I'm
He's
gonna
picking right now. You're choosing right now which one.
I had a pick, and then I'm switching it up. I'm gonna hope dict Ice Merchants as my personal pick and my prediction, because initially I had the short documentary The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, and
Sounds like a Roald Dahl book.
it is very much akin to that. It's very Winnie the Pooh. It's very much like there's this little boy, and he's lost in the snowy forest, and he makes friends with all these animal creatures, and they help him find his way home, but he realizes that his home isn't some random house, it's his friends, his animal friends, so... But the reason I'm not so sure about that one, because it's very lovable, it's got a celebrity voice cast, it's got celebrity producers on it, it's an Apple TV Plus one... But the reason I'm not going with it is there seems to be a sort of bucking of this one by the popular reception. It would make sense that it's so lovable, it's so heartfelt that this one wins. But even in my theater, there were people laughing at this one inadvertently, because this is something that can't really you'll have to experience it. You have to watch it to experience it. It's like the dialogue for this film was auto-generated from a bunch of Hallmark cards.
Weird.
Is how I would describe it. It's just
ChatGPT
there's no
movie.
It's just so all the dialogue is you got to be true to yourself, and friends are what really matter. I'm not even joking. That is every single line of this film is some emotional platitude about friendship and belonging and not being scared and all this shit. People were laughing out loud at how saccharine this shit was, and I think that people are going to reject it widely. So I'm going to go the Ice Merchants. It's shorter, almost no dialogue, striking visuals. I'm going to go Ice Merchants for both.
Did Pixar have an entry into the shorts?
They did not. Oh, actually, I realize I'm not reading the nominees for this, but I'll skip documentary. We're past that already. But animated shorts are The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, The Flying Sailor, Ice Merchants, My Year of Dicks, and An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and I Think I Believe It.
Those were fun to watch Riz Ahmed say at the announcements.
Yeah. And finally, if I can round out Tanner's Shorts Corner here with live action short, the nominees are An Irish Goodbye, Ivalu, Le Pupille, Night Ride, and The Red Suitcase. Popular people might tell you to go with Le Pupille because it's got Alfonso Cuarón attached to it. He's a producer on it. And it is available on Disney Plus right now. But I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to tell you.
He's got the inside knowledge, boys.
Vote for
Listen
an Irish Goodbye is what I'd tell you to vote for.
This
it's
might
shorter. Oh, sorry,
I
go
was
ahead,
just gonna.
Tim. What were you
I was
say?
just gonna say the year. This is the year of the Irish visibility in the Oscars.
Timo, that's honest to God, maybe a part of the reasoning for why I'm going with this one as a prediction, because there's a lot of Irish visibility this year with Banshees, with 5 Irish actors nominated, and all of this stuff. So it's very lovable. It's shorter than Le Pupille, and it's very straightforward, as that one is not as straightforward. But my personal pick would be The Red Suitcase. I'm not going to tell you what happens in that one. I'll save you the time. It's a great short. Watch it if you can. But yes, predicting that an Irish Goodbye would like The Red Suitcase to win.
Okay. Well,
Now-
thanks for educating us. Good job, Tanner. That was a lot
With
of
all
research.
that said and done, let's just go to another easy category: visual effects. Nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun: Maverick.
Shall we say it on 3?
Give me your... Oh, let's say it on 3. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Avatar 2.
Avatar: The Way of Water.
Yep.
Yes. Is there anyone who thinks that there are better visual effects that they would prefer to win?
Top Gun might have a chance because the visual effects are so well hidden and they're so secretive about where they are that the Academy voters might be like, oh, they're everywhere. But I don't. The bridge between cinematography and VFX in Top Gun is so blurry that I feel like voters will just be like, you know what? Avatar: The Way of Water is entirely computer generated and it is fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
I
There's
think
one.
that's
There's one movie that I think should be here. Over, let's be honest, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which is Ron Howard's 13 Lives, a film that I watched, loved. We did a review of it, and I watched a behind-the-scenes thing of what this movie does in terms of its special visual effects, and it's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. And it's not there, but it's about caves and water, but there's so much hidden visual effects there. It's so impressive, but. Man, that movie got shafted. Thanks, Amazon.
Yeah, it got shortlisted in VFX, but no dice in the 5. So,
Yeah.
And Everything Everywhere is a notable missing from that category too.
Yeah,
Another
good point.
snub,
That one wasn't even shortlisted, as I remember. So
Weird.
Yeah. Another easy category here: animated feature. You guys want to say this one on 3 again? Okay.
Count us down.
Oh, I'll give you the nominees first.
Oh, give us the nominees, of course.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. Now, everyone, let's say what's going to win on 3. 3, 2, 1. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yeah.
That
movie made me cry.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen it. So that's really more from just the osmosis of being told it's going to win. I do just want to give a shout out to Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, because while I do find it to be an unremarkable narrative, I think that as a sort of visual experience and a new way to interpret the notion of animation and the merger with live action, I found it to be quite delightful. So it's just worth a shout out, and I'm glad I got a nomination, but it's not going to win.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my want to win as well. As one of my favorite movies of last year. I was very excited for it, and it really didn't disappoint me. Pinocchio actually I think is interesting, and we say very easy prediction here. I believe this is a sweeper. I don't think this is lost anywhere at any award. And Guillermo del Toro's always going up and he's like, animation is a medium, and he's giving his awards and he's holding his little Pinocchio doll, and it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. So I'll be happy when this film wins. I didn't love it that much. Me and Rachel watched it and we're like, okay. But Marcel, you made it. You made it to the big leagues. So proud of you.
Pinocchio won at CAS for animated pictures, so that's where I'm going. For.
They had to change up the stipulations for animated category for Marcel the Shell with Shoes On to get in, because it is of course majority live action sets and everything, but they added a stipulation in there where if your film absolutely hinges on animation, if the main characters are animated, if it cannot be made without animation, then they allow the film in. So that's how Marcel the Shell with Shoes On got it. Like Avatar.
Wait a second.
Let me just say, stop fucking talking about Puss in Boots. Don't tell me that Puss in Boots doesn't get the attention it deserves and doesn't win the Oscar. It made a shit ton of money. People love it. Stop with as one of our favorite people to follow on film Twitter said, stop with the video essays about Puss in Boots. It's not even that good. That's all I want to. That's all I want to.
Thank
Yeah, it's
God
good.
we don't do video essays. Am I right?
Yeah, honestly, Abram, I wanna hop on the it's not even that good train. Listen, I liked Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It's a good movie. Maybe one of the best DreamWorks films, but it's also not
the most competition.
Does it deserve to be above The Seventh Seal? In the Letterboxd top 250.
Oh, really? Holy shit.
Which is funny because it's like riffing on The Seventh Seal by Bergman, and it's above it in the rankings, so very funny stuff there.
Zoomers.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we had a couple easy categories, fellas. I'm going to throw you a curveball with maybe the toughest category of the evening.
Uh-oh.
And that is supporting actress. The nominees are Angela Bassett in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow in The Whale, Carrie Condon in The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Very good lineup.
Well,
Very good lineup.
Timo.
And yeah,
I can start.
the reason you say this is so complicated is
Yes.
because there hasn't been a sweeper. This has been split 3 ways with Angela Bassett, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Carrie Condon. So
Yeah.
who the hell knows who the Academy will side with?
I'm gonna say Academy's siding with Carrie Condon. It's the year of Irish visibility. I think Angela Bassett's a close runner-up, but I really liked Carrie Condon's performance in Banshees, and so that's gonna be my should and will win.
It might be influenced by the fact that I straight up don't remember anything about Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, but but for me, Angela Bassett's performance doesn't really move the needle that much. I think that Stephanie Hsu will and should take it. I think, and as I was saying, what's her alter ego? Name?
Jobu Tupaki.
Jobo Tupaki. I don't think that's a particularly remarkable facet of her performance, but her performance as the daughter, whose name is Joy.
Great point. Yeah, great pull.
Is quite remarkable, and I think the range she demonstrates throughout the film is quite excellent also. I just think, too, that Everything Everywhere will probably pick up awards where it can, and I do think that Stephanie is definitely deserving of that. So
Yeah. I think what's great here is, and people meme on Jamie Lee Curtis being nominated. I appreciated her performance a lot more on my 5th watch, so it takes that many times to really get into it.
to really get into it, yeah.
But is this award season with this lineup for me is one where I'm not feeling disappointed. And I'm so used to so many of the nominees in all these categories being from movies I don't particularly care about, actresses and roles, and I'm like, yeah, that was fine. That was awards baiting. I think a lot of these performances feel more genuine than our usual crop of supporting actress for just general acting awards. But I do think that it'll be Angela Bassett. She's my prediction to win. She is the one that I think has won the most precursors, but only by like a tiny hair.
Yeah, because she won a lot of those earlier in the award season and hasn't really picked up any recently.
Yeah, so there might be a momentum shift towards, I guess, Carrie Condon, but then again, her win was a couple weeks ago, so the momentum's not surging at the last moment for her. It really is a toss-up, but I think that Angela Bassett, first award for an MCU movie, she was certainly the most powerful performance in that film. There's iconic clips that are going around. I think she will win, but I think for me, I would want Hong Chow to win. The Whale is a movie that might not get its flowers anywhere else. I think it was it underperformed in terms of I would have wanted to see it get an adapted screenplay nomination. That didn't happen. But Hong Chow is one of the big parts of that movie. She's phenomenal in that film, and I can't wait to see her be in a couple other movies. She's in a few movies coming up. Very excited for that. But that would be my want. But Angela Bassett for my prediction.
And if it comes down to me,
It does.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna side with Timo here. I'm gonna go with Carrie Condon as our winner, just because I think, and this has been analyzed in cross-section 6 Ways from Sunday about if you look at the 2007 Oscars when there was a split that the Oscars went with this person instead of this person, but that person didn't get nominated at this ceremony. And I think what it really comes down to is this is an entirely new scenario that has no real history and no real backing behind it. This sort of race breakdown has never happened before in these awards circuit history. So I'm just gonna go with BAFTA, just because like I don't think that Jamie Lee Curtis's performance feels like an Oscar winner to me.
She's not gonna win.
And I think that it's really interesting that SAG that SAG went with like a historic thing where it won Everything Everywhere won the most SAG awards ever during that ceremony.
It also won the most Spirit Awards ever.
Yeah, but I just got to go to Carrie Condon for my personal pick and my Oscar prediction because I think the BAFTAs do correlate with the Oscars quite often, and as I said, there's not a direct correlation in this category in past years, but I'm just gonna go Carrie Condon. It will probably be the Banshees of Inisherin's sole Oscar win that on
Maybe.
Oscars
We'll
night.
see.
So that's what I'm going with.
I want to make one more comment here because in two categories, this being one of them, I'm going to give a second should win to somebody who's not nominated because I want to, and you can't stop me.
No, we cannot.
And I'm giving the Abram Buner Oscar to Lashana Lynch in The Woman King, a film that I was...
Great pull.
A, I love Lashana Lynch's performance in that film, and B, I think it's ridiculous that The Woman King got nothing. I think that film will be reevaluated in a positive light in a couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, it was never evaluated in a negative light. The movie did well with Reed well and did get some award circuit, like barely, but
not really.
Yeah, that would have been a great nomination.
Yeah,
she was amazing in that film.
Was never going to happen though.
Could have?
No. Best international feature film, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and germs.
Do we want to do it on 1, 2, 3?
Let me read the categories here. Let me read them.
Let's see who's nominated.
All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina, 1985, which was the one that I watched this afternoon to round out the Oscar nominees for myself. Close, EO, and The Quiet Girl. Another Irish recognition film right there in The Quiet Girl.
The Quiet Girl got nominated? No way.
I watched that a while ago and liked it a lot.
Yeah, I watched that while I was in Scotland, close enough to Ireland, and that was a good movie. It's cool to have it be in the original language too. Yeah. But what do we really think is going to win on 3?
Count it down. 3, 2, 1.
All Quiet on the
Western Front.
No, Abram, that one wasn't nominated.
Insane that wasn't nominated.
That was bonkers.
Fucking bonkers. Bonkers, I might say.
Does everyone feel that All Quiet on the Western Front should win?
Because it's not going to win Best Picture, and it's going to win Best International. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's be real. This has been a track record for the last few years.
Yes.
There exists an international slot, and that slot that film is in Best Picture, and then it ends up winning an international feature. And who knows if that'll change in the future? But it is a statistic that very much exists, and it is incredibly undeniable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a curveball though.
You are.
And say my personal pick is Close, a film that I watched yesterday, and it's like the exact opposite of All Quiet on the Western Front. Whereas that film is all bombast and explosions, Close really prides itself on meaningful, like, silent moments and just glances between our new actors as well. Eden Dambreen is the main character in that, and he rocketed to the top of my best breakthrough performances of the year. He is really incredible, and I really love Close. So not going to happen, but just a wonderful, heartbreaking film in Close. But All Quiet on the Western Front is going to win, so not even worth the conversation, really.
I like EO's poster.
EO is the one with the donkey, and that's real cool.
That's real cool.
Mm-hmm. It's also got EO's got some fucking crazy cinematography in it too.
Dang. I wish I would have gotten to see that one. I remember when it came out and people were chatting about it, but I never went and saw it.
There was a lot of people in my theater to watch EO, actually. I think they were expecting a nice donkey movie, but not expecting a experimental Polish drone cinematography thing. So
I didn't know a donkey could fly a Polish drone.
Yeah, only Polish drones.
Donkey
they make them
FPV
especially
racing?
for donkeys. Yeah.
You telling me a donkey flew this Polish drone?
Costume design.
Costume design.
Nominees are Babylon, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Bogus that there's no Batman nomination in there.
Yeah, That
Yeah,
would have been a good
I'll give
pull.
you that. I'll give mine first. I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win this one. It recently surprised at the Costume Designers Guild Awards, beating out Black Panther: Wakanda Forever in the sci-fi film category. So I think this is one of the ones that Everything Everywhere is going to scoop up in its sweeping process, and I'm going Everything Everywhere All at Once. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
As long as you get
But-
some of the words in there, it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna say I'd like Elvis to win. I think those recreations of those costumes, and I know that's a lame choice, and is maybe like the second most likely option for the Oscars because they do love their period accurate recreation costumes. But I think they're really brilliant. I think the colors pop. I think the recreations are cool, and how they update it a little bit, like we were talking about in our Elvis review, to make them just a little bit more modern, like how he's wearing like that mesh see-through shirt and his like rock star moments. I think that's cool.
I'm
I'm
gonna
the exact
agree.
opposite of you.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that Elvis is the clear winner here.
Okay.
Not that I want it to. I want Everything Everywhere All at Once to win. I would love that to be the surprise. I think that's a lot more creative in terms of the costumes. But Elvis is the front runner in terms of winning awards. But who knows if that costume guild win for Everything Everywhere like gives it that last
Translates.
momentum. But
Yeah.
also Elvis also won that same night in another category.
Yeah, period.
So
yeah.
So it's not like it's lost momentum, and it just feels so much more like what the Academy is going to go for. Is Elvis.
Yeah, although in recent years they've thrown the bone to sci-fi films every so often, and I think with a film as strong as Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Yeah.
they could do it again. I mean, they're overdue. I think they've given it to period costumes for the last 3 years or so. Every so often they do sci-fi films.
I'm gonna vote Everything Everywhere for should and will, or I want it to, and it will it will win. Will. It has the most costumes of all the nominees.
True.
And you just got to think about all those scenes with Jobu Tupaki going bing bong boom bing bing, and those costumes are not CGI. Those are real costumes, and they may be in the movie for like 2 frames, but somebody made that thing, and I think the Academy is going to take notice of all the hard work. And there's been, since that movie's been out for so long, we've gotten to see a lot of production stills of the racks upon racks of costumes that they had to build for this film to make all of those inter-universal multiverse jump cuts work. Just needed a ton of costumes, and I think that's going to carry it. Because they look really good, too. They look really, really good.
Yeah, I'm just going to completely mirror what Timo said. I'm not really going to add anything else. Should and will to Everything Everywhere.
Okay, all right.
What's next, Tanner? What do you
Moving
think
on.
the Academy's going to have us think about next?
Writing, Timo. I think they're going to have us think about writing next with Best Original Screenplay. Nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Abram, give me your stuff. Give me your things. Give me your thoughts.
Should and will to Tar. I think.
Okay.
And here's my opinion. Tar is going to get 2 awards. We'll get to the other one I think it's going to get in a moment. But I think moving
Director.
beyond Best Actress, show my hand earlier there, I do think
Spoilers.
I do think that there will be a sort of a desire to get Tar on the board a little bit more in terms of just the sheer talent that created that film. And I do think that Todd Field coming out of the fucking forest or whatever he did to write and direct Tar is gonna make some waves. And I do just think that on a pound for pound level, there is not a better original screenplay in this list than that. We talk about the construction of Lydia Tar, as what I now have come to learn is a fictional character, and we talk about the ways in which the density of that script carries so much meaning, and so much meaning for so many different people, in which it becomes interpreted with basis in so many different directions. I think it is a masterclass in writing, and it will win, and should.
Now, I am predicting the Banshees of Inisherin to win.
Okay.
And maybe this is me being cautious as to not give too many predictions to a sweep of Everything Everywhere, because that is that's my wanted to win. I think that is, the more I've considered, I think that's my favorite screenplay I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But Banshees of Inisherin is a more Oscar-y screenplay. It's not as ridiculous and multiversal and fart jokes and butt plugs. and I don't know if that will hold back Everything Everywhere. I would like it to not, but Banshees might have fingers being cut off, but it's also more serious. So I'm predicting Banshees, but I'd love for Everything Everywhere at once to win.
I am gonna.
Go ahead.
Let me
Timo.
go. I'm gonna predict.
I'll let you cook.
Everything Everywhere is gonna take this one home. Even though, Abram, you're so right about Tar. It's so dense, and
That'd be so cool to win. Oh,
okay.
Love Tar.
Everything
It's gonna
Everywhere
happen.
is going to win, and I want Tar to win because you're right. I don't know how much more Tar is gonna pick up. And the screenplay really is where the density of that movie begins. It starts in the screenplay, and it just permeates through all the other aspects of it.
It starts in the screenplay right away when she's like sitting there giving an interview of a bunch of things that didn't happen, but I believe they happened.
Yeah, and so
yeah.
I do worry for Tar's chances in that the density is hard to understand, and we took a long ass time to understand it, and most viewers don't do that, and most Academy viewers are stupider than most regular viewers. So like,
The most Quest readers. I mean,
ooh,
watchers.
it's gonna go to Everything Everywhere. I want it to go to Tar.
Or Timo, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm the exact same there. I think that it's going to go to Everything Everywhere all at once. I think this is one of the biggies it's going to pick up in its sweep. And we'll get to the other ones in due time, of course. But it did win WGA. Notably absent though was the Banshees of Inisherin. It was not eligible for WGA. I think it's steep competition.
The A in WGA does stand for America.
It does prohibit, yes,
International
foreign
films.
scripts. But I think at the same time, though, Tucker, you brought up how it's all multiverses and butt plugs, and how they might be turned off by that, whereas I'm turned on by that. But in any case, I think that that's the exact same argument as that people have levied at it in Best Picture, frankly, and
Yeah, true.
Those clearly don't stick. So I don't think that's going to be the case for
Totally fair. Totally
original screenplay either.
But also, as I said, I'm predicting it as a cautious measure.
Sure, yes.
Not
Yes.
because I necessarily believe that, which just shows my hand how not particularly confident I am about some of these. But that one I'm putting out there just as a like a wall of gauze, like just in case,
A wall of
Just in
gauze.
case.
in case someone shoots at me, put up a wall
yeah,
of gauze.
I'd love for Tar to win as well. That's my personal pick. But switching gears to we're not being original anymore. Let's adapt some screenplays here. Nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun: Maverick, and Women Talking. Tucker Hazel, what do you think?
I think it'll be Women Talking.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't even know what I would want to win this. I guess maybe I would want Top Gun. It's my favorite movie out of these.
Yeah.
The Women Talking screenplay I appreciate a lot more after our discussion, but at face value, it's not really the kind of movie that appeals to me. But I do think it'll be Women Talking. It winning the WGA was a good pull for that. So yeah, Women Talking is gonna win. But there's also fully a chance it could just be All Quiet on the Western Front somehow.
You see, I don't think All Quiet on the Western Front is going to win because I feel like people appreciate that movie, but I don't know how much they appreciate the adaptation. I think that
Sure.
Yeah,
we have gotten some comments about people who didn't quite like the direction this new film takes versus the original book. And I feel like
They're wrong.
the one controversial aspect of that movie is in its adaptation, and so that hurts its chances, especially against Women Talking, which is so strong in that category, just as a screenplay, when we kind of don't think about either of them as an adaptation.
Also worth pointing out, I'm going to harken back to our 1 year ago discussion predictions, where we brought up this notion that when the small-brained Academy voter sees this category, their eyes don't dart to the word adapted. Their eyes dart to the word screenplay. So they're judging the best screenplay, not necessarily the best adaptation of anything. So that's why I'm gonna go Women Talking for will win and should win. I think it's a really great screenplay. I love the screenplay for Top Gun: Maverick, but I think the Women Talking screenplay is like a singular achievement, and it just deserves it, frankly, for all the guff that it's gotten this award season, getting shut out in a lot of other things, and just really losing steam when that screenplay is really strong.
Yeah, the screenplay will win. I do give it to Top Gun: Maverick, personally. But you're right in that Women Talking lives and dies by its screenplay. And I think the ways it's able to captivate the viewer and lock them into what is such a hyper small scale of a narrative is incredibly impressive. Of course, backed up by performances that did not get the recognition they deserved, but Women Talking will take it. This is the other one where I bring in the Abram Buner should have been nominated and wasn't, for Bones and All.
There
I
you
think
go.
Bones and All has an exceptional script. And if it wasn't a horror movie, I think it would be there. But if it wasn't a horror movie, it wouldn't be Bones and All. So it's kind of a catch-22, isn't it?
Yeah.
Abram, I'm right there with you.
When will the voters open their eyes to the possibility that a movie can scare them and still be good?
Yeah.
True. With Nope.
It's a great screenplay.
Nope, another great example.
Come on, man.
Nope, not being in sound
shutout.
is like the most insane thing that I could possibly conceive happening.
CAS
And it did
didn't
happen.
nominate Nope either. So
What's wrong with these people? Did they
know.
listen? Or did they have their headphones on during Nope? They must have.
probably
They were
not
on-
because they must have been on the theater probably.
They were
I meant that.
in the theater on their phone with their AirPods in.
They AirPods
Yep,
in.
the AirPods.
AirPods. Anyway, I'm going to put my AirPods in right now and listen to some of these scores that we're going to talk about next. With the nominees being All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon. Thank you, Timo, for reciting the entirety of the All Quiet on the Western Front score. The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Fabelmans. I'll start this time around.
Yeah. start Tim.
And gotta keep it easy. Will win, should win. Babylon, baby, both fronts.
We
Crazy
better be
score.
8 for 8 here, or I'm gonna punch one of you.
Abram, what do you
Of course
say?
it's Babylon. I fucking love the Babylon score. You guys.
Who
know this.
doesn't?
It's no
Who doesn't
contest.
love this score? Is the important question to ask.
I was being
That's
rude
cap.
earlier and playing a featurette about Justin Hurwitz making the Babylon score. And Abram and Tanner were like, this guy's a jackass. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm listening to the Babylon score. And the more I've thought about it, it might be my favorite film score of all
Yeah.
time. There's nothing that makes me feel the way that the Babylon score does.
That-
And I've also
yes.
listened to the entirety of that score multiple
Yep.
times, which I've never done for another movie score.
It's the best score of the year by a mile.
God, it is.
It's so good.
I will be
It's
I will
so
be
good.
incredibly fucking frustrated if it doesn't win.
And that's the
Gun to my
one
head that-
place where
yeah.
it's nominated. That film got one nomination and
No.
it's in score, or did
Three.
they get
That's not
another?
true.
Oh, 3.
Costume and production design.
Yeah.
We mentioned it earlier in costumes, and we'll mention it in a bit in production design. But gun to my head, if I had to choose another score, I'd go Everything Everywhere All at Once. I really love
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
score for that film as well. And I don't know if I'd forgive Everything Everywhere All at Once if it stepped on Babylon in its sweepingness. So,
I would not want that. No.
Nope.
no.
It's not gonna lose though, guys. Babylon
No,
is 100% gonna take best score.
Better.
Yeah.
It went to
I feel
Tar
quite
at
confident.
the Globes, right?
Yeah, because they didn't do best original score. They just did best score.
Oh,
and also it went to I think it
hard
went
to
to All
compete with
Quiet at
Mahler.
BAFTAs.
Yeah, just because the BAFTAs fucking loved All Quiet on the Western Front, and they're like,
The BAFTAs were
old
weird this
American Hollywood, yuck.
Give me World War II, the good old days. No, wait, Britain. No, wait.
you meant
It's a good
one.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
We'll forgive you, Tucker.
Close enough, you know. One,
enough.
2. Those are like one number apart.
That's true. That's true. They were. Anyway, editing.
Oh, we're gonna do editing. I
Film-
thought we should do song next. Keep these two together, or not? Because
No,
I got
go
hot
to
takes
his
about song.
hypothetical
Tanner,
order.
you are the
We'll
master
get there.
of ceremonies
We'll get there.
here.
We'll get there. Film editing. Another toughie here. Nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick.
Another great lineup.
Aw,
Keep
Jimmy
tuning
I
Nelson.
did not put down one film on my list, which means that I really don't know for this category because this is
Okay, well then
great.
I'll skip you and go to Abram Buner.
I don't know. It's between Tar and Top Gun.
So, I think that Elvis will win.
Oh.
I'm predicting the best editing award turning once more to the most editing award.
Uh-huh.
But I do also think that it'll be another democratic decision of we gotta throw Elvis a couple more bones. Similar to Tar in my mind. But I do also think that when you of the nominees, Elvis is the one that lives by its editing.
Yeah.
Editing is what makes Baz Luhrmann's film what it is. And if the Academy was not interested in his style, it wouldn't be up for Best Picture. And And if it's up for Best Picture, they like the editing. That's kind of the elliptical process my mind takes. But my favorite example of editing this year was Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
For me, it's Everything Ever All at Once for should and will win. It has picked up a lot of steam in terms of editing. Beginning of this award season, you would have been hard pressed to find someone who was predicting it, even though a lot of people obviously enjoy that editing. I would say up there with Elvis in terms of use of editing, most editing. Everything Ever All at Once is also on that level, and it creates a very distinct style. And the uses of editing are things that are barely ever used and pushed to editing is pushed to the limit by that, and I think also by what Elvis does. So those two are at the top for me in terms of want to win, but I do think that Everything Ever All at Once will pick this up as a surprise. I think over Top Gun, I think that is the second, though because that was not in cinematography, that becomes a little less likely.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at these though, and I think we had a similar discussion last year around the sound award and the editing award, because since 2013, for the past 10 years, those two awards have been linked. The winner of editing is the winner of sound, and vice versa. And what we're looking down the barrel of right here is the first time in 10 years, mind you, the Best Editing Award was introduced in 2009.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, you can.
Holy shit!
They've been editing
no,
movies
actually,
since George Méliès made his stuff.
Actually, no, I take that back. I straight up lied to you there.
That's
I was
cap,
misreading.
bro. You're capping.
I was misreading this article. It's an anecdote from 2009. I don't even know where I got that.
Best editing has been around for a long time.
I bamboozled
man.
you though. I
Tanner,
bamboozled you.
I am gonna guess that they've had a Best Editing Award for if not the entire history of the Oscars, like 95% of it.
Yeah. Anywho, nonetheless, these two awards.
You really threw the train off the track there.
Man.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
Since 2013, these two awards have been interlinked.
Within cells.
Within cells. And what we're looking down the barrel of here is the first time in 10 years that we'd have a split, because Everything Everywhere All at Once is not nominated in sound.
True.
So, with that being said, I'm going to say there will be a split. I think this is going to be a history-making Oscar ceremony, and I'm saying Everything Everywhere All at Once will win Best Editing, but Top Gun Maverick should win Best Editing. Because I think, if nothing else, neglecting all the awards that Everything Everywhere has picked up, and it's picked up quite a few, it's like the first time since Mad Max Fury Road that it's a movie has swept the ACE Awards, the Critics' Choice Awards, and the BAFTA for editing. Anyway, when an Academy voter thinks of Everything Everywhere All at Once and the editing, what are they going to think of? They're going to think of those moments when Evelyn is going through 25 universes in the span of a couple seconds. That is immediately what your mind goes to when I say Everything Everywhere All at Once editing. And I don't think there is an immediate clicking scene like that for any of these other nominees, even Top Gun Maverick, which could be a spoiler.
The one where
here
they're dodging the Sams that got us to stand up out of our seats.
I agree, Tucker, and that's what my mind jumps to. But I don't know if that's the case for an Academy voter.
Probably true.
It's not as absolutely present as Everything Everywhere All at Once. But so that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say there's going to be a split. But if Top Gun Maverick wins, I'll be very happy, and the trend will continue.
I think Top Gun is going to win, but damn it, I really like Tar's editing. Tar has really good editing. I think you say there aren't moments in some of the other films beside Everything Everywhere where you can notice the editing really well. But Tar has both really loud cuts in that, you know, we hear the three notes of the three first notes, and then boom, we get the full orchestra. What a great! That's like an amazing cut. But we also get a lot of really quiet, subtle editing work. So I think it's really good. But I do heed your warning, and I don't think the Academy's going to split. I think Top Gun's editing serves so much to keep these intense 3D spatial dogfights very intelligible that they're going to pick that one for it. I think Top Gun's probably going to pick up most below the line awards.
Sure.
And yeah, so this is just another one. Or the ones that it's nominated for. The ones that it's nominated.
Did you give yours already, Abram?
Yeah, I went first. I went Elvis and Top Gun.
Elvis is a good pick, though, man. You're right. It does live and die by its editing.
Yeah.
This is a good
Would be
year.
a bad
Because
pick.
I'm not a cringy Oscar stats reader, so I have no fucking clue what any of you guys are talking about.
Well, clearly I'm not either, but not
I'm
closely
going
enough.
Oh, by the way, the first winner for best editing was a movie called Eskimo in 1934.
Oh, so I was a little off.
Oh,
I
that
just
was
a little
that
off.
was like a super racist documentary, wasn't it? Eskimo.
a lot of
I've seen that.
a lot of movies from 1934 were, as I understand it, super racist.
Not in its entirety, Tucker, because God forbid Abram's seen an old movie, but I have seen parts of it in what class? One of my classes. I don't remember.
One of the classes.
The racist class.
Well, speaking of documentaries, actually, let's talk about documentary feature. Nominees this year are All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and Navalny. Now, I have a question for you. I know Tucker has seen Fire of Love.
So have I.
But,
I watched All the Bleeding and the Bloodshed today.
Oh, did you?
I fell asleep in the middle, but I watched it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any. To answer your question.
Okay. So that's just that's my question I had.
Yeah.
So what I will say, I'll start out and I will say, yes, thank you, Timo. Fire of Love should be winning this award. It's my favorite documentary, but there is a documentarian bias against archival footage in the documentary award winners, and for that reason, I think that Navalny will win.
Navalny
I have,
hits
I have that for Will Win as well.
Yeah. I barely know what that movie's about, but I know who Navalny is, and thinking
It's
about
about him.
the political climate of our world, the Academy would love nothing more than to just be like, "Ooh, screw you, Russia! We picked the anti-Russian movie," which is what that is.
Yeah, there is a definite political bent to picking this one, and that I think they will do it.
Yeah.
Tanner, I was feeling equally trepidatious about the use of archival footage in the movie you said that you like, so I also agree with the one that you think will win.
Okay, Fire of Love.
Mm-hmm.
They're making that
Wait.
into a. They're making that into
No,
a.
he didn't
a
say that would win.
No,
he
I
wanted
said that
to
should
win.
win.
It should.
Yeah.
Fire Love should win, but Navalny will.
Yeah.
Are we going Navalny all four?
Yeah.
I've only
Yeah, why
seen
not?
Fire Love,
Sure.
so I'm taking Tanner's word for it.
They're also making Fire of Love into a feature film
To
from
a
Searchlight
series? A
Pictures.
Disney Plus series?
No, feature film from
Apple
Fox
TV Plus
Searchlight.
series?
No,
Fire
no, no,
Love?
no, 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 no,
Paramount
no, no,
Plus series?
no, none of those things.
Navalny, a monster story? What
No,
is-
no. Moving on. Production design. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fablemans.
Wait,
Tucker
sorry,
Hazel.
which category is this? My brain.
Production
stopped.
design.
I'll go.
I was
So the
trying
people
to
are-
do Navalny, a Star Wars story in my head, and so I just completely stopped.
Okay.
Abram, you're jumping on. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, Jim's got it. Avatar will win. But I think that Babylon should win. Because Babylon's production design is fucking nutty.
Yeah,
It is
Abram, you need to set that thing down, flip it, and reverse it, because
You
Babylon
think so?
will win, and Avatar: The Way of Water should win.
I kind of think the Fablemans has a chance in this one.
Yeah.
I do.
Why?
I see it, man. I don't know. Because they're not going to give
That would be
any
a
other
weird
awards to Spielberg's movie, because I don't think he's going to win director, and I don't think he's going to win best picture, and he's not going to win. We didn't say he's going to win original screenplay. So production design it is, baby.
Sure. My production design prediction is All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh. Okay.
I think that's going to be the one to overperform in the below the line categories, as opposed to something like Elvis or Top Gun Maverick, because of it being a surprise nomination in Best Picture, it overperforming at the BAFTAs. It obviously is a very popular and critically acclaimed movie in terms of its technical stuff, and the production design of recreating those trenches and everything. I mean, each of these movies have some kind of narrative. I think Fableman's narrative, you're right, Timo, is that it's probably not going to win anything else, so maybe let's give it this. But I don't think that's strong enough to beat Avatar, Babylon, and All Quiet on the Western Front. Three movies that are like top of the craft production design. I'd love any of those to win. I think Avatar would be my personal pick, just in terms of giving that award to something that is great production design, but it's production design done within a digital space that they don't usually award that to. So I'd love that to win, but I think it'll be All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah, I'm going Babylon just because it's been getting a lot of precursors, and that's really the only reason I have. And also, they love giving it to the movie that's like, we're recreating old Hollywood. Once upon a
Old
time in
Hollywood is a great thing to include in your movie if you want to win Oscars.
Yes,
true.
That's why I'm going with Babylon prediction. But I agree with Tucker on the digital space and getting those trying to drown those actors, as the famous James Cameron directing strategy goes. So that's why I think it should win.
His directorial style is drowning people.
Yeah.
Hey, he doesn't
That comes with
he doesn't make any of his
And
actors
himself.
do anything that he wouldn't do himself. So
Drowning.
drowning.
It comes with the territory. That territory
Didn't he
being
almost drown
the
in
ocean.
one of his movies?
The
Yes.
Abyss.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Timo, it's your time. You wanted to talk about it, so let's talk about it. Let's hear your hot take on Best Original Song, with the nominees being Applause from Tell It Like a Woman, Hold by... the only nominee that I have not seen, because who cares? Hold My
Diane
Hand from Top Gun Maverick, Lift Me Up from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Not To from RRR, and This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Timo, hit me with your hot take.
It's got to be Natu, man. If it's not Natu, Hollywood will burn. That's what I have to
Yes.
say, man. I think
Now, what's the hot take?
I don't know. I don't think it is a hot take. Actually, I think that's a rather cold take.
You lied to me.
I just really want Natu to win for best song because it's awesome. I watched RRR like end of last week finally, and
You did? You didn't tell us that.
well, a little.
Well, we're live and we're learning here live on air.
I love that movie.
Movie
It was so
rocks.
much fun, and Natu is just a great time. And I think that the hype that if they would rig any vote to make it just like a more hype ceremony, this is the vote to rig, because Natu winning would crank the ceremony's vibe up to 11.
Yeah. And they're going to perform it live, which is going to get every part of my body tingling.
Everybody loves this song already, and if they'll perform it live, everybody's going to be up and dancing around in their seats, because they already are doing that at the other Hollywood
Tara and I
screenings.
actually bought a suspender strap so we can stand up during the Oscar ceremony and go.
Ho, ho.
But yeah, absolutely,
Does
that's going to win. I'd
Same
be one of my
here.
favorite wins of the night.
Absolutely.
Lady
Think
Gaga's
it
not
should
going
win
to
as
take
well.
it home.
No, I mean, honestly, people are saying if it's not Natu, it's going to be Rihanna with Black Panther. And the people lump together Lift Me Up and Hold My Hand. It's like, oh, the slow, boring ballads. I'm like, let's pump the brakes here, ladies and gents. Hold My Hand is a bop, first and foremost, I think, at least. But I'm going to go Natu on both counts anyway. Abram, you've been notably silent during this time. What do you think?
I mean, I think "Hold My Hand" is going to win, and I think it
Okay.
should win. And that's a great song.
Have you heard Not To? A genuine question.
No, and I
Go
I
watch
think
the
you-
scene after this, please.
Yeah,
No, I'm
Genuine.
not going to do that because I want
Why?
to see it in the context of the film, and
That makes
I'll
sense.
get to RRR eventually.
Really? Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
We can watch that
But-
together in Texas.
Yeah, I'd
We
watch
have
that
too many
movie
movies we're
again
gonna watch together in
anytime.
Texas, Tanner. Stop adding more to the pile.
More.
I also think that there is a marked chance you guys are overestimating the number of people who have seen RRR, and I think
Yeah.
you're underestimating the number of people who have heard "Hold My Hand" on the radio every day when they drive to their job.
That is totally possible. However, this is another one, much like Pinocchio, that has literally not lost once. It has
Okay.
won across the board. That is, and obviously it's RR's only nomination. So
Yeah.
also very rare that a song from an international film breaks through and gets in. Like this is not a song that is in English, but that's how good it is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
We're in the end game now, folks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 awards left to talk about. Wait, no, 5. I lied. 5 awards
Five.
left to talk about. And that one that I nearly forgot about, I skipped over a little
Yep.
bit, is another easy one, I think, and that is Best Director. Nominees are...
Wait, you've missed one. Where's makeup and
Oh, I
hairstyle?
know.
Makeup
It's
and
coming.
hairstyle.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do direct-
I'm linking these babies up. Don't you worry. Tanya's got something cooking in the pot up
Okay,
here, all right?
okay. Directors.
Hold
Best
on.
Director.
Let him cook.
Exactly. Martin McDonagh, The Banshees of Inisherin. Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Steven Spielberg, The Fablemans. Todd Field, Tar. And Ruben Östlund, Triangle of Sadness.
Istland, I think it is. Istland.
I'm saying Östlund.
Your umlaut's wrong, bro. That's a U umlaut you're saying. You need to say the O umlaut. It's very different.
I'm gonna umlaut you if you're not careful.
I'll show you my umlaut.
What do we
Yeah.
think? I know who I think is going to win this, and it is
Should
not
we
a...
all- I feel confident here. Can
Put
we-
the
oh,
number
wait,
of fingers in the air as you think how many directors will win this, okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
2 directors are going to win
No,
this tonight. Or on
Yeah.
Sunday, yeah.
Yes.
It's the Daniels.
Stop in 3, 2, 1 on how many directors are gonna win the award.
Yeah. You can't do that for any other. I guess you could. How many makeup artists do you think will win the makeup award? I don't know.
You know they're going to pull like a whole huge team. The whole team's going to go up there for the
Yeah.
for whenever they win.
Is there
makeup.
anyone who thinks that the Daniels should not win this award? Is there anyone else you would
Yeah,
pick in
Abram
this
does.
category?
Yeah, I do, but I don't want to frame it that way because I don't think
Oh,
they
okay.
should not win. I think that
Oh,
Todd
okay.
Field should win.
Okay, sure.
Because I don't have any issue with Daniel's directing, and I think that Daniel's direction is a large part of what makes Everything Everywhere as great as it is.
Mhm.
But I do feel like the precision with which Todd Field directs Tar is.
And he came out of the forest to do it,
Yeah.
so...
He came out of the
It's
forest.
true, he did.
Yeah, he's been like fucking making fire out of 2 sticks for the last decade. And
I thought it was like
that's what
hibernating in one of those little holes in a tree like a squirrel.
Yeah, like a squirrel.
He's a kind of
No,
square
but
looking gentleman.
I love his direction, but also it's bunk that Joseph Kaczynski didn't get a nomination. So
Yeah. Take out Ruben, throw in
kind of
Joseph, you know?
I would take that any day, absolutely.
Yeah. Take
Or-
out Ruben and
or
put in
old Jim.
anybody.
Yeah,
put,
where's
put
Jim?
in old Jim. I agree,
Or,
Tucker.
God forbid, Damien Chazelle.
Or, God forbid, if we just talked about RRR, SS Rajamouli.
Oh my God, Rajamouli. Or, God forbid, Matt Reeves.
True. All
Or
these
Ron
true.
Howard.
Sorry, Ruben. We're ragging on you here, but
Or,
you did make
He's
the
the
movie.
he's
that-
the
Black
Wink
Adam.
Link.
what?
What?
who directed Black
Oh,
Adam?
Yom?
Oh, Yom
Yom
Colette Sarah.
Colette
Oh God.
Okay. Now here's the 2 that I said you guys were all you're doubting my skills,
Yep.
but I have them linked here.
Okay.
And which one would you like to do first? The big one or the little one?
The little one.
The little one.
Little one first? Okay. Makeup and hairstyling. Nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, and The Whale. And as
Great
you can
lineup.
see, there's a very clear reason why I linked these awards, Makeup and Hairstyling and Best Lead Actor, with those last 2 nominees, Elvis and The Whale. Tucker Hazel, what do you think? What do you think's gonna win here?
I mean, I think this is a 2 for 2 for me of well, this combined with the other award
Yeah.
that we're linking this with is that Elvis is going to win, but I do think The Whale should win. Elvis is a very impressive makeup film in terms of making Austin Butler. Well, he already kind of looks like Elvis, but like making him look
True.
even more like Elvis. And putting more jowls on Tom Hanks. But they put if we're going amount of jowls per movie, I mean The Whale is just much higher.
It's
I
jowlicious.
thought you were gonna say a different movie.
What?
I thought you were gonna say The Batman.
With who? Who has
Colin Farrell, baby.
Sure, I guess he does. There's a lot of jowls going around this year.
Yeah, there is.
It's a contagion. But this is the only time I've gotten a chance to talk about The Whale here, obviously because it wasn't nominated in any other categories. But the makeup in The Whale is, I think, the most impressive use of prosthetics and makeup that I've ever seen in my entire life. I was watching a man sweat on skin that did not exist, and I could not believe that it was not skin. That was not his. That was not sweating because it was not real. That I was blown away by makeup, which I almost never have before, other than really grotesque things. So I really want The Whale to win. I really want it to win. But Elvis is probably going to win.
Okay. I'm gonna go the opposite, because I think that actually no. Yeah, the opposite, Tucker. Sorry. The Whale will win. The Whale will win.
Please, Tanner, I want you to get a point over me, please.
Okay, yeah, and I think that the Batman should win because you're doing a similar thing. You're absolutely transforming Colin Farrell. He's filming the Penguin show again. It just reminds you how good that makeup is. See him lumbering around the set and stuff like that. I was like, God damn, he doesn't look a thing like Colin Farrell. That's crazy. But also like the simple stuff like Bruce Wayne's like eyeshadow stuff like that. It's all good. It's all good stuff, I think. So yeah, those are my picks, and that will play into my actor award in an interesting way, I think. But Abram, Timo, makeup winner, who do you think it is?
I think you guys are underestimating the potential power of All Quiet on the Western Front
Okay. Yeah.
in terms of makeup. And the more we sort of chew on this category, I am going to give my will win to All Quiet. However, I'm going to give my should win also to the Batman. I really do think that Robert Pattinson's appearance in the Batman is one of the iconic images of makeup usage in a movie from this year.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
am I
which
right?
was nominated.
Am I right in thinking that the Suicide Squad previously won this award, or is that a
Yes.
different one?
It was costume design or
think-
makeup and hairstyling. Excuse me.
It's
Well,
a cer-
these two things aren't even in the same universe. One's in an Elseworlds and one's the
come on, Abram. What?
DCEU, which
The Academy voters know that, right? They know.
The Academy voters couldn't describe what a cinematic comic book universe is with a gun to their head, in
No.
my opinion.
No, probably not.
But
the
I'm
only one
saying-
they've seen is Black Panther and its sequel 4 years later. They were very confused when they mentioned the blip.
Yeah, but I'll quit. It's good.
I'm gonna go both on All Quiet. I just remember that all those scenes with the layers upon
muck.
layers upon layers of muck apply to these characters, and the muck on the costumes I think falls into the makeup department too. And I just think that the some of the most horrifying moments of that movie come from looking at characters' faces who have been greatly disfigured by stuff applied to it. And I just think All Quiet has a lot of momentum and is going to take home makeup and hairstyling. Yeah, I think that it's Everything Everywhere has a ton of makeup and hairstyling and goes in with the Jobu Tupaki nonsense, but All Quiet takes
Not
my
nominated.
vote. It was not nominated for makeup and
Nope.
hairstyling?
Not shortlisted either. That was a big controversy.
Well,
at the
that's
time.
weird.
Insane.
There's a lot of hair and makeup in that movie.
I could be. I want to stick by what I said, but as we move into Best Actor, Tucker, I think you might be on the money here with saying Elvis is going to win because they do often give it to actor made up to look like famous person in real life.
Let's do the category. Give us the
So
nominees.
let's do the category. Lead actor nominees are Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell, The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser, The Whale, Paul Mescal, After Sun, and Bill Nighy, Living. Abram,
I'm
I think
20
you have
minutes
something.
into Living right now, by the way.
Oh,
I'll
yeah?
finish it tonight.
Abram-
he's got a very specific voice.
Abram, I feel like you have something very special to say in this category, so I'll let you go for
I
it.
do. I do think Austin Butler will win, and I'll try and back in on that point when we talk about it. But the performance that moved me the most this year was Paul Mescal in After Sun.
Yeah.
I think that After Sun is an exceptional film. I understand how its sort of scale kind of edged it out of contest in any other category in a major way.
Another Irish visibility as well, Paul
Yes.
Mescal.
I think that Paul Mescal gives such a sensitive performance. I was absolutely captivated by him, and I think he's an incredible actor in general, and I'm super excited to see him in more projects. And I'm super excited to see him in Robert Linklater's next stupid project that'll conclude when I'm middle-aged. So,
Classic Bob Linklater, the director that everyone knows.
yes.
Hometown
I'm
hero
right,
for me.
He's the one making that movie, right? I'm not wrong
Yes.
about
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Because he's a Boyhood and Before trilogy guy,
Yes.
remember?
By the way, Abram, you mentioned that. I just want to put this in perspective for everyone. It will finish production in the year 2041, when Richard Linklater, not Robert Linklater, will be
Sorry.
81 years old when that movie
Whoa.
finishes production.
Whoa. Crazy.
But again,
He loves that
Paul,
stuff.
I loved his performance, and I loved After Sun in general. I would have wanted to see it in like editing, actually, but
Yeah.
I didn't get it. So.
That's okay. I am gonna go with Austin Butler will win this award. And I know that seems antithetical with my makeup pick, but I do think there's going to be a split here because I think the impressiveness and the dedication to which Brendan Fraser went with under that makeup is impressive. But I just think that the Academy loves when someone can pretend to be a real person, and I think that no one has done
Lydia
that better.
Tarr.
Yes, and I think that no one has done that better than Austin Butler this year. He is absolutely electrifying in this role. I think that they're going to stick with their biopic trend, and sadly not give it to Brendan Fraser, who, if I were in charge of the Academy Awards, I would give it to Brendan Fraser, even though I hold these two performances very close in esteem to each other. I would give the award to Brendan Fraser just because of, very similar to the Ke Huy Quan thing. He was unfairly blacklisted from Hollywood for years and years, and suffered the physical repercussions of his role as an action hero in the 90s and early 2000s, and was basically hung out to dry until he came back with The Whale. So I would give him the Oscar, but I think that Austin Butler is still going to win.
I'm going to go both should and will for Austin Butler. I agree with you guys are saying about the his embodiment of Elvis. When he's like, and it's great. It was great acting moments, and that's gonna be that's gonna be on the reel that they play when he wins.
I love
putting the microphone in his mouth. That's gonna be on the reel.
Yep.
I don't think that's true.
I listened to the Elvis soundtrack on Spotify recently, and there is a track with that on it. And I forgot that he goes, "Lord have mercy." Oh.
I do just want to say,
"Lord have mercy." It's so funny. Continue, Abe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do want to say that while Austin Butler has sort of the cop-out advantage of being the lead in a biopic, I think nonetheless, as we're talking about in the episode for the film, there is such a heightened sense of reality that Austin Butler brings to the role that, to me, he transcends the mode of just sort of emulating an Elvis. It's more that he brings a level of acting caliber to this role that punches it up to, in my opinion, to the level of myth. I think physically, his dialogue delivery, his facial acting, everything is just firing for the entire runtime Elvis.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm predicting him to win. Though, if we want to go by track record for precursors, it's not clear-cut at all. We're all going Butler, but he and Fraser have won the same amount of awards. And Fraser actually recently won SAG. Which is huge. And Butler, so Fraser has Critics' Choice and SAG, which are two very highly prestige. But Butler has BAFTA and Golden Globe, and what we're continuing to predict here is that the Oscars will deviate from what the BAFTAs chose. So that might give him a slight downtick. So
here's what I'll add.
I'm predicting Butler.
Yeah.
But I know this might sound hyperbolic, but I think that Brendan Fraser's performance in The Whale is the single greatest male performance I've ever seen in my entire life. So I will be overjoyed if that ends up coming true.
What I'm gonna say.
What do you gotta say? Sorry. Go ahead. We'll go.
The latest Variety cover, massive Variety magazine, Austin Butler's face squarely planted on the front, and with big for your consideration. They are pushing him in LA to win so bad. His face is everywhere in town.
Yeah.
I just want to chime in with all this precursor nonsense. All of this shit is like astrology for people who haven't seen The Kissing Booth. And that's how I feel about all this.
I haven't seen The Kissing Booth.
What does that make
Abram,
me in that I
right.
have seen The Kissing Booth, and I've seen all three, and that I am not an astrologist?
No need to flex, Timo. I mean, I just said that
that's
I've
actually
seen
what
all
gives
of
you that. I'm pretty sure that's why you won that award, right?
Yeah, I think they do
Lots
give it out
to learn
to somebody
from-
who's watched. Yeah.
Lots to learn in Sound World from the Kissing Booth movies.
Tucker, if I can pose, because I want to talk about this acting race because it's super interesting, along with the lead actress race. All of the acting awards, say for supporting actor, are really interesting this year, and have been cut all sorts of ways. So you mentioned Brendan Fraser won Critics' Choice and SAG. Worth noting, of course, that Critics' Choice Awards have no voting crossover with the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, a lot of times the Academy does align more closely with the SAG, so who's to say? I've seen a lot of comparisons, and this is the last thing I'll say. It's a really interesting comparison, like one that we don't have in the supporting actress category that we talked about a while ago. And that is the 2015 Academy Awards, wherein the race came down to Michael Keaton in Birdman and Eddie Redmayne in The Theory of Everything. The young, new-coming actor in a biopic winning over the comeback actor in a sort of very prestigious role, very really powerhouse role for a comeback like he is having. And Eddie Redmayne, that new face, took it for that biopic. We have a very different academy now. We've added thousands of members at this point, so I'm not saying it's going to be a similar outcome, but there is a track record there. There is a track record.
Does that mean we have
Anyway.
one category left?
Two.
Oh yeah, the
one
actress
and then the big one.
and then
Yeah.
the big one. Yeah.
Lead actress: Cate Blanchett in Tar, Ana de Armas, Blonde, Andrea Riseborough, To Leslie, Michelle Williams, The Fablemans, and Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What a funny little lineup, you know?
It is a crazy lineup, especially
What a silly
considering
little best actress lineup
what we
we've got.
thought was going to happen, like even the night before the Oscar nominations happened. But anyway, again, really interesting category here. This is the one I'm splitting my predictions between BAFTA and SAG. I went with Austin Butler, who got the BAFTA, and here I'm predicting Michelle Yeoh, who got that SAG. And I think it's because, and this is no surprise, I'm predicting Everything Everywhere All at Once in Best Picture. Very sorry that I spoiled it. And she's the centerpiece of that film. I don't know why I took such a long pause, but she's the centerpiece of the film. It's her movie, her vehicle, and I think the Academy will recognize that and give her the Oscar. Although, I think Cate Blanchett gives the best performance of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree exactly. Cate Blanchett is within the star vehicle movie that is constructed for her to just do an amazing performance. She does a really, really amazing job in Tar. But I think Michelle Yeoh is a hotter actress right now. She's really hitting on all cylinders in just terms of Hollywood circles. They really like her. And Everything Everywhere, I'm going to agree with you, is also going to win Best Picture, and so that's going to go along together.
I'm going to predict Cate Blanchett here. This is another one that is so neck and neck, it's almost not even funny.
Just flip a coin, man.
What
do I have? No,
with Blanchett
here I have a
having
coin.
BAFTA Critics' Choice in Globe Drama, and Yeoh having SAG Spirit Awards and Globe Comedy. So
The coin says
which
Michelle
one was-
Yeoh.
Oh, okay. Well then we better defer.
I'll jot down coin in my notes. That coin predicted Michelle Yeoh.
Sure. We'll see what the coin says. We should have done that for every category and just see
And make this episode longer, Tucker? I don't think so.
But I'm predicting Cate Blanchett as another layer of gauze of I will be very happy if Cate Blanchett wins. I think it's her best performance. I think she's one of the best performers of this generation. This is one of the best performances of the year. But I do think that Michelle Yeoh, quote unquote, deserves it more for this being her first chance to be in this actress race. She does have the momentum going for her, as the wins that she's gotten have been more recent. Of course, she's riding a film that is a lot stronger in terms of winning a lot more awards, and I do think there's a strong chance that she comes along with that. But that also, for me, I'm holding like a sorry hole in my heart of I'm hesitant to overpredict Everything Everywhere, and this is where I'm most hesitant for that, because it is so neck and neck. And the statistic of that, it has basically always for all of history been white people winning these goddamn awards. It is a statistic for a reason, and even though I would love to see that statistic shaken, I can also see us next year looking back and saying, well, it's still been all white people winning this award and nothing has changed, so let's hope again next year. But it's a very complex thing. But I'm predicting Blanchett, not even because I'm necessarily confident in that, but I will want Michelle Yeoh to win.
One way or another, the sort of pandemonium of the Michelle Yeoh industrial complex on Twitter will be silenced after a couple days after the ceremony. Give them time.
Michelle Yeoh Industrial Complex.
I do think that Cate Blanchett gives the best performance of the year. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, it's not even close. And I was remarking about this in the Discord. I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once has a lot of remarkable acting in it, but for me, it largely resides in the supporting cast. And a larger supporting cast than what is nominated. I love Gong Gong. I think he's phenomenal. I think everybody around Michelle Yeoh is what makes that movie special to me. Which is not to say that Michelle Yeoh does not give a good performance by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that Cate Blanchett gives a definitive performance. And I do not think that is going to be overlooked by the people voting for the Oscars. I really do think that Kate has it, and Kate should take it.
There you have it, folks. I don't know if there's much else to say here other than
To
I don't know.
Leslie happened.
Yeah, other than To Leslie happened. Crazy. Imagine that wins, you know? Best performance of an actress ever in a movie ever, best person to ever exist, Andrea Riseborough, apparently. If you believe the hype.
For
It's also worth
your
noting
consideration, best person ever, Andrea
Yeah.
Riseborough.
it's also worth noting that Kate Blanchett appears to not want to win this award. Like, she's kind of been she's kind of been like, yeah, thanks guys, but she's got 2 Oscars already, you know. So, and there's also that thing. Did you guys hear about what happened on this will date the episode, but who cares? It's already dated within a couple of days of it releasing. But did you guys hear about that thing that Michelle Yeoh like reposted on Twitter or Instagram or whatever? That was an article about how her win would be historic and why she deserves to win for all these reasons. And there, it like sort of that article sort of like derided Kate Blanchett, and Michelle Yeoh posted it on her social media, and then like a couple minutes later took it down. That was just a thing that I saw on Twitter today.
So I follow Sam Meltzer on Twitter, so I was made
Yeah.
well aware of this situation.
Yes.
I also follow Zoe Rose Bryant, so I just could not escape it no matter how hard I tried.
Yeah.
My entire opinion on this whole quote-unquote debacle is that everybody needs a hobby.
Well, you
Because-
people do get really invested in this, and any little bump on the Richter scale of award season throws everyone into a tizzy.
Yeah, I think that everybody was so quick to like jump to the most extreme conclusions about the motivations involved on Michelle Yeoh's part, on behalf of everyone talking around her, and all the article really does is state that Kate Blanchett already has 2 Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Michelle Yeoh is in the wrong for posting it. I think it's kind of weird energy, but ultimately you're here to campaign to win, so who
Yeah.
really cares? My
Yeah.
whole thing about this is who cares?
Yeah, I don't care
That's
at
my
all.
opinion on the controversy.
Not me.
It
And-
shouldn't even be a controversy. It was made a controversy by other people.
True. Yeah. Good point.
Let's
Good
just
point.
do Best Picture. Let's get it out of the way. I think we already spoiled
Best
2
Picture.
of our votes.
Yeah, we did. I'm saying Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win. I think I just got to go with my favorite movie of the year, Top Gun Maverick. Well, favorite movie of the year that's nominated in Best Picture, because RRR was snubbed, I say, in Best Picture. But I think that Top Gun Maverick is just my favorite movie of the year, so I gotta say should win there. But it's gonna be Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I'll throw in my want to win. Would jump out of my seat and burst out crying if All Quiet on the Western Front won. That's my soft spot of the year. Is the unexpected film. I didn't really know about it before it got nominated, and then it did, and turned out that I really liked it, and it was really good. So if that one wins, I'll be super happy and surprised, because I think Everything Everywhere is such a lock for this year. And I think it's a great pick. Like, it really means, I think it carries with a lot of meaning about where we are. We talked about this in our first episode, but that film really is a prescient, modern piece of filmmaking that brings the ceremony and the art of movies to a new era. And so I would be really happy to see that one win as well. And I think it's gonna. So I'm planning on being happy on Sunday night.
I'm planning on being happy. Abram, Tucker, hit me with it.
Tucker, you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do think that it'll be Everything Ever All at Once. I have kept that same hole in my heart that is worried to overpredict one of my favorite movies actually winning things for the entire season. But that hole has started to heal, and there's a chance that it may fully heal by the time the Oscars roll around. And if Everything Ever All at Once obviously gets Best Picture, as I'm predicting it to, but also could overperform in other places, that hole will be sealed, and I'll be a full person once again. But I think that the momentum of this film is and statistics be damned, this is a statistics ass movie. This kind of sweep and momentum hasn't happened for like 15 years of winning SAG Ensemble and DGA and PGA and Spirit, like more Spirit Awards than anything ever has, and Critics' Choice, and just and has a bunch of director wins and screenplay wins. Like that, it's stacking things, and it'll be an insane stat breaker if it does go to something else. And just because of it, the hype behind it and the joy and passion behind it, joy pun intended, is something that we saw really help last year with Coda. Is people wanted to give the win to a film that they enjoyed seeing win a bunch of things, and the passion was there, and that carried Coda to the finish line. And Everything Everywhere All at Once has had that kind of momentum since it came out, which obviously was not the case for Coda. So yes, I'm predicting it to win. It will be my number one best picture of all time if it does win. I'm very excited to have the potential to add it to this list. So 2 for 2 for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna like hyper split the atom because I think that Everything Everywhere will win and should win, but I want Top Gun Maverick to win because that is my favorite film of the slate. Mm-hmm. But I think you guys are right in that ultimately the Oscars are just nonsense, and the Oscars are not a metric of quality.
All these are bad movies, actually.
No,
Abram Buner.
the Oscars are a measurement of a lot more than just pound for pound punching weight quality of a film. Mm-hmm. And I think you guys make a lot of really remarkable and astute points about why across lines of filmmaking scale, across lines of genre, across lines of identity, across lines of politics, there's a lot of reason for the film to win beyond it just being, in my opinion, a very, very good movie. Mm-hmm. It has fallen in my estimation over the course of its release to now, but I think nonetheless it has all of the pieces and the justifications to be the best picture. But God damn it, if I don't just think the Top Gun Maverick is a timeless piece of blockbuster filmmaking. So,
we all think that.
True. Yeah, we do.
There we go. We have delivered all of our predictions for all of the categories that we will find out about on Sunday when the awards show is. All these haters and Academy haters, be warned, because they picked not one but two, maybe even 3 or 4 blockbuster movies that were immensely popular when they came out, that huge amounts of people went and saw, and they're up there on the list. So I feel like if there's a year to silence the questioners and the haters about, the Academy only picks little tiny movies, this is a year that says we're going in a new and different direction, which is a big departure from Coda's win last year.
There was still an LA Times article written on Monday that was like, no one has seen the Best Picture nominees and the Academy Awards don't matter.
It's got the Top Gun. It's got Avatar.
The Best Picture lineup this year made a combined $4 billion. So
what do you
I don't know
want?
what the hell you're talking about, buddy.
If anything, the Oscars picked too many big movies because we didn't get After Sun in the list.
Yeah.
Or Bones and All.
Yeah.
Or Bones and All. Oh, can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine how insufferable I would have been this Quest season if Bones and All get nominated?
I'm just saying it. In
tooth and nail.
In 2025,
that's a bone.
They're gonna have.
I would have ate Tooth and Nail.
They're gonna have. They're gonna have to do 15 nominees because there's just gonna be so many good movies to talk about.
That's true.
Yeah,
we'll get there eventually.
Movies get better as time goes on.
Yeah.
T.Y. Nelson. The cool thing about this award season, and as this is kind of, except for our recap afterward, our final chance to talk about this, is that I personally contend this is the best picture lineup I've ever seen. It has the breadth that a 5-picture lineup doesn't have, or 5 or 8-picture lineup doesn't have the space to. And also, I think all these movies are great, which has never happened to me before. I'm just like, that's for someone else, whatever.
There's usually a Darkest Hour or a The Post in there.
Yes, exactly. And those consistently happen. But there wasn't one for me. And even for us with Triangle of Sadness, that movie is weird enough to not feel like one of those. And I really like that. And with the films that are making tons of money, getting awards buzz, that is a healthy sign for blockbuster cinema in a way that it hasn't had that kind of acclaim for a long time, and also a very good sign for the Oscars and their popularity. I was just re-listening to our predictions episode last year where we talked about will the viewership of the awards ceremony be higher or lower, and it was, I think, 9 million in 2021, and Abram and Timo, you predicted that it would drop down, and in fact it almost doubled. It got like 16 million last year. So, but I think that it will only continue to go up because guess what? People are right. They actually nominated films that people know about this year. And if India's tuning in to watch the RRR Not Do thing, if people who saw Avatar: The Way of Water, who love Top Gun Maverick are tuning in, that's going to bump numbers incredibly high. So I only hope that this continues to be a trend and that this isn't just a one-off year and next year we're back to Mank.
Yeah. This year just feels way better than the past two. The past two that we've been doing this. So
It feels healthy.
yeah, feels good.
It feels like a really healthy balance. We've got our biopics, we've got our smaller movies, our reflective movies, we've got our bombast, we've got wacky stuff, we've got indie stuff, we've got the biggest movies of all time. It's a nice balance.
Yeah. If this year's so healthy that if I asked it to turn its head and cough, I wouldn't feel a thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now, last year we ended off this video with what Tucker just mentioned. If a ancillary question of whether the viewership will go up or down. And I want to ask a different question this year, a far more entertaining question, I think.
Don't ask it.
How do you know what he's gonna say?
How many jokes will there be about the slap?
3.
3 jokes.
There will be 3
Okay,
jokes
all right.
about it because the rule
We'll be
of
tallying. We will be watching together, so we can tally.
Tanner, how long after 9/11 did New Yorkers start joking about that? Because I think that's really the question we need to answer this.
It is tantamount to that for the Academy. It seems like
I was at the Academy Museum over the weekend, and they have a little plaque in there that talks about the slap.
Oh, are you serious?
I am serious.
They must have put that up after I went there because I was there over the summer. And I don't think that was there.
Yeah, in their like big roundabout section of let's talk about every single award.
That's a really cool thing.
I'm
Go to the
gonna
Academy
say
Museum.
I'm gonna say two.
I'm gonna
two
say
jokes
1.
about the slap.
Rule of
say
threes,
1.
guys. Rule of threes. It's funnier. It's funny the first time. It's not funny the second time, and it's really hilarious the third time.
Team, I'm gonna blow your mind. It's not gonna be funny any of the times.
You're right about that. You're
Academy
right about
jokes.
that.
They're never funny anyway.
No,
I have
no,
one
no.
other. I have
And
one
it's
other question.
Jimmy
I wanna
fucking
ask.
Kimmel too.
Snooze fest.
One other question. Just a yes
Tucker,
or no
wait,
prediction.
wait, Tucker, we need your number.
Oh, 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Are Beavis and Butthead going to return to give another award this year?
Yes.
Were they?
I hope
did
so.
they give an award one year?
Yes, they gave out the Sound Award one year.
Oh.
We've gone on long enough. Your feature film Oscar prediction presentation is now coming to a close. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for Tanner doing all the research on pulling together our list of nominees, and the rest of you for providing good and insightful opinions. We shall see if we're correct. Since we got a couple days before the ceremony, I'm gonna be mulling around my final. I suppose we'll post our final while we're watching ballots on the Discord. So if you want to catch our live scoring attempts, join with that link in the description, and we'll love the chat. And we'll see all of you once one of these movies is picked to be the real Best Picture winner, and then comes the big challenge of figuring out how do we slot it in towards the rest of the list, because 10 movies you might think is a challenge to organize, but how about 94? That's a bit more. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I hope my picks win. That's what I have to say.
Me too.
And
Me too.
And until next time, peace.